Thanks everybody for coming down. Just wanted to touch bases with everybody about our plans for this weekend and moving into New Year's Eve. So as you know, we have the Peach Bowl scheduled for Saturday. Normally, that game is the day after the Peach Drop on January 1st. So we're fortunate this year that we're going to be able to have that game prior to the Peach Drop. And so that alleviates a little bit of the pressure on the department so we can separate those days a little bit. So we'll get through the game and the small parade that we'll have Saturday morning down around Centennial Olympic Park. And then we'll move into Monday afternoon and we'll have the 30th annual Peach Drop. This is the 30th year. We're moving back to underground. We tried to set it up in kind of a different area around Woodruff Park last year for reasons out of our control at underground. But this year we're fortunate enough to bring it back to underground, and we look forward to a fantastic event. We're going to be standing up our Joint Operations Center with our federal, local, and state partners on Monday that day. And with our Video Integration Center cameras, our undercover officers, our uniform officers, our partners on the ground with Georgia State University and MARTA, we think we'll have a very successful and safe event. We expect road closures around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, starting Monday afternoon, the 31st, around the event itself, around Wall, Peachtree, ML King, that area. And then beginning at 6 p.m., we'll have the secured gates opening to the public, which we will, which we will be having bag checks and magnetometers there for the security of the people attending the event.
Does that make it easier, kind of going back, just dust off the old playbook, go back to what you know?
Well, we never dust off the old one. We definitely use lessons learned from past experiences and past events to help us improve. But I think what we look at this year is a little different than years past. We learned from the Las Vegas instances that we want to make sure that we're not just protecting on the ground level, but also up in above the event itself. So we've got additional all-hazard resources in place to make sure that the actual entire footprint is secure from above also.
It's a shame you kind of got to have to deal like that, huh?
It is, but we feel confident that we have the resources to do that. If the weather permits, we'll have our air unit Phoenix 1 up in the air, and we'll be able to have live downlink video from the air unit also, as long as the weather cooperates with us.
What's the biggest challenge you guys face securing an event like that?
It's really the crowd size and the small area. So we want to make sure that the public knows, please don't come down at 11:55 and expect to get into the event. We have secured magnetometer entrances into this event, so the earlier you can get there, the better. So you won't be missing out on the festivities at midnight. So we do suggest you come early, and obviously we want you to use MARTA and rideshare because there's very limited parking in that area. And plus, because of the crowd size, and the road closures, you're not going to be able to park anywhere near the event.
Do any of the plans change if the weather gets crazy?
A little bit. You know, we have the same resources. Our resources will still be in place. They'll just be a little wet or cold, but we're used to that. We operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and we'll be prepared for anything.
Is there, I mean, a lot of these, you got all these big games, and now you know, Peach Drop, all this kind of stuff. I mean, how much of this is helping you as sort of the run-up to the Super Bowl? I know I've asked that question 300 times.
Yeah.
You know, as we get closer and we have more of these events, I mean, how much of that is helping you guys kind of stay on your game when the Super Bowl?
It always helps. You know, you expect to perform like you practice, and I think with these events that are leading up to the Super Bowl, it helps us tweak some of the minor things that we're looking at, some of our technology, and some of our manpower issues that we're looking at to make sure that we have the proper resources where they need to be.
I guess sort of my last question here is, you know, should the rain kind of mess things up and you kind of get people to scatter, does that sort of change any of the strategy that you guys use?
It really won't for us. What we'll expect is that obviously with the weather, it might thin the crowds out a little bit, or it might force them to come last minute, so our gates need to be prepared for that. So we'll certainly be on the lookout for that with the weatherman, and we'll have additional help from our partners at MARTA to make sure they get to and from.
You guys still get amped up for these things?
Absolutely. It's a fun event. Come down and enjoy it. It's always good to see the bands and the Peach Drop come down. And I think this year it'll be great to see it back at Underground.
How do you guys keep from keeping that energy up? I mean, you know, you've got a lot of these big events, now you got Peach Drop, you got a couple more, and then you're gonna have the Super Bowl. I mean, it can, you know, wear some folks out. How do you keep everybody kind of on their end?
Well, the good thing is we were coming off the holidays, so we tried to get all of our employees a little rest during these holidays. And like I mentioned earlier, in past years we've had that game, the Peach Bowl, directly the next day after the Peach Drop, and that's always been very taxing on us. But this year it's Saturday before, so we'll be able to split our resources a little bit, so not everybody has to work those 2 days, and we'll be able to get them rested up for January 26th.
Cool.
What's that?
Anything we miss out on?
I don't think so.
Sweet.
Oh, if anybody wants any information about the event, please go to atlantapd.org. And then also, please follow us on Twitter during the event, because we will be providing live feeds on Twitter from the event that night.